Hey everyone, so it is 90 plus degrees here in northern New Jersey. I was asked to make 3 dozen chocolate chip cookies for an instructor at my gym who is actually leaving. Not sure where she's going, but she won't be there anymore. And what I am going to do is use How to Cake It's Yolanda Gamp's chocolate chip cookie recipe. The only thing that I do differently is I actually like to use dark chocolate instead of the semi-sweetened the milk chocolate. I just like that darker, richer flavor, I guess. But I couldn't get dark chocolate at the store, so we are doing the recipe to the T. I think the only other thing that I do a little bit different is I like to add just a tad bit more of brown sugar. So instead of doing like a 1/4 cup of her recipe, I do like a 1/3. I don't know, something, it's just about the molasses of it, or like that real chocolate chip flavor. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna add the mixing or whatever paddle attachment that they call it. I'm doing 1.25 cups of the unsalted butter. Another friend of ours at the gym also likes to melt the butter in a saucepan and then add it in the liquefied state to the mix. I have done that before. Sometimes I'll do it with like the quarter part of it and not the full, just to give more of that nuttiness. Some people like that nuttiness, and I think it also like makes it a little bit more salty. So I'm adding the butter in here, and I'm gonna do the brown sugar and regular sugar. So we have about 3/4 cup. I kind of rounded a little bit up to a cup. And then, like I said, it's a 1 1/4 cup, but I did one up to like 1 1/3 cup of the brown sugar. So I'm gonna drop that in here and get it all creamed up together. Get that little guy and get it going. I will be back. So I just stopped the mixer. This is so pretty. Such a nice like light brown caramel flavor. Oh my god, it smells amazing. Okay, I'm gonna get all the sides in. Now what we want to do is we want to get some of the liquid in, and that is our eggs and vanilla. Let's get all this down here and go from there. You know what? Sorry. Sometimes I forget I'm recording and I'm just like in it. I get like in a daze trying to get every little fucking cranny in and get all this. Anyway, okay, let's add the 2 eggs and about a teaspoon. I did probably a little bit over a teaspoon of vanilla. Some people say, you know, add 1 egg at a time, but we're just not gonna do that today. It doesn't look pretty in here. It starts to like separate that creaminess that we just did, and that's not fun, but we're gonna stay with it. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add our flour. Her recipe calls for 2 3/4. I actually do round up to 3 cups, and then I go a little bit overboard with a teaspoon of baking soda, salt, and baking powder. I guess you could say I eyeball it slightly, but you know, still very much utilizing the recipe as it should be. If you're just starting out, it's one of the simplest recipes. Thank you, Yolanda, for making it as simple as possible. So if you're one of those people that doesn't deviate, follow the recipe to the T and you'll be just fine. But that's what recipes are supposed to do, right? You take it and then you kind of put a spin on it. There's so many different iterations of this chocolate chip cookie that I've made over the past. Sometimes I'll dip them in chocolate ganache, or for this particular batch, I'm gonna do some dipping of chocolate ganache, and I'm gonna top some with walnuts. I'm gonna top some with toasted coconut, some with sprinkles, some I have that gold flakes, and it actually just makes the cookie look so much more luxurious and delicious. So, okay, everything is mixed in. So I'm gonna stop here. And we're gonna start to slowly add the flour in. I'm a little nervous because this is not the biggest bowl, but it is really hot. I'm gonna try my hardest to just not overexert myself. It's actually quite warm in my place and the oven will turn on, so I'm just gonna try to stay alive here. So let's add some of the flour in, get it a little bit incorporated. And hopefully it doesn't blow up in my face here. I'm gonna just get a paper towel. And I just want to cover a little bit of the, there we go. Okay, that was not bad. Oh, looks delicious. Let's get that last bit of that flour in. I didn't scrape down this part down because I feel like it'll help bring this whole thing in, but I am going to kind of tuck it. What I want to do is tuck the flour so it doesn't like blow up in my face again, which it didn't. I had the paper towels and that did help. So, okay, let's get some mixing in again. Not bad. So I just want to get back down to the end. This bowl, for some reason, KitchenAid, I don't know what your deal is, but it always gets, some of the stuff gets so stuck down at the bottom here. And I just want to make sure that it is all incorporated. And it looks like it is. Okay. So the last thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna throw the chocolate chips in. I actually had to put them in the fridge because it's hot in here. Let me go get those chocolate chips. As you can see, I've got the semi-sweet on the down, on the milk chocolate up top. I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing some of these in. And they are cold, so it's gonna help kind of make this a little better. I like a lot of chocolate chip, FYI. And here we go. Look at that. So great. So what I'm gonna do is stick this in the fridge, turn my oven on, and start lining my baking sheets and get the scooping in. I'm probably not gonna film the scooping situation because who wants to see that? But I will probably come back and show you how I do the dipping and the decorating.